Hi everyone, today I want to show you some techniques that you can use at home to assist your loved ones, your kids, your friends, your family, really whoever you want to touch. These are really simple techniques that you can apply that are super healing and super helpful, and they feel really good to the person that's receiving them. So I have my daughter here, Lily, with us. You might have seen her around many times. She plays a lot of sports, as does my son. So the impact of these sports on their bodies sometimes have them feeling sore or a little kind of cranky muscle-wise. And so it's just a really relaxing practice for them to be able to just lie and receive these adjustments. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to have Lily lie on her back. So any flat surface, even if you just have them lie on carpet, that's fine too. And then, you want to make sure that you as the giver, your energy is right or it's set before you go placing your hands on your loved ones. So just make sure that you have the space, you have the time, you're not needing to get up to attend to anything else for the next several minutes or the time that you're allotting to do this, and that you can really focus your energy and your love through your hands to your person. So you might sit and take a couple grounding breaths in and out. Slowing yourself down so that you're intentional. And then the first thing that I'm going to do is pick up her head. And normally I might have my other leg extended out, but since I don't want to block the way that you see this, I'm going to have my leg in. You sit however it's most comfortable for you to execute this. So I'm going to gently pick up her head. And I'll place my hands. There's this ridge in the back of her skull. It's called the occipital ridge, kind of bony ridge that sticks out. I'm going to stick my fingertips spread out into that ridge and just hold her head in my palms in my hands. You can always, it's good to just in general communicate with your person and give them permission to say, that doesn't feel right, too much, not enough, more please, stop. So Lily, you can always tell me any of those things as we move through this touch. And then I'll take her head and I'll shift it to just be placed in one of my palms. So her head's resting heavy in just one of my hands. My other hand, I'm going to use it to get to the base of her nape of her neck, and then my fingers will come alongside her spine and just comb up. And then my hand will be holding it in the opposite arm. And then I'll use the other one. So we're just switching hands out, and I'm starting at the base of her neck and combing up alongside the spine to the back of her head. Just giving a light massage for the neck and a lengthening too of the neck. And this is really, if you're not used to doing something like this, it might be a little clunky, it might be a little awkward, but that's why you talk to one another. Just say like, hey, does that feel okay? When I pull a little gentle like that, or like this, if I press, like, does that feel right? Does that feel good? Is there any suggestions you might have? So talk to one another. And then once I do that quite a few times, I'll just again rest her head in my hands and just lightly pull her head towards me again, lengthening and decompressing her spine, her cervical spine, the back of her neck. And then if you have the flexibility and the mobility while holding the neck, you can bring both of your feet to the shoulder heads and press the shoulder heads down with your feet as you pull gently the head towards you. Does that feel okay? I usually hold it here for 20, 30 seconds. So again, we're working to decompress the cervical spine, the back of the neck. We're providing length here. So as we pull towards us the head, we press forward and down the shoulders. So there's this oppositional energy. It feels really good to the receiver. And then release the feet and gently release the head down. We could achieve the same thing with the shoulders by using our hands. We then won't be pulling the head towards us because we're using our hands another way, but you can also place your hands on the tops of their shoulder heads and just push down. You might even pull the collarbone apart or the hands apart from one another as you push down. It's going to create a little space, the tops of the shoulders, and it feels good. Then releasing the shoulders, you could bring the hands to the jawbone, starting with the chin, and just working up the jawbone with your fingertips, massaging all along the jaw. We forget how much we use the jaw until we have someone touch and massage it. We're like, oh, that feels really good. I actually don't ever, give that part of my body attention in this way. So just going around and massaging all along the bone. And you might ask them, is that too much pressure? Would you like more pressure? Well, don't be afraid. I think a lot of times, and I teach a lot of people hands-on adjustments with teacher training, and I think a lot of times we think that we're putting way more pressure than we actually are. Like the body can take more pressure than you would think in these places, in this setting. So I might not say that in every pose or in everything that we're doing, but in something like this, you can put more pressure than you think that you can. And just communicate with your person. And then moving up to the skull, you can begin to massage around the head. And you can use your fingertips and again, put pressure on your fingertips as you move and massage. You could go lightly towards the temple area. You don't want to press hard in the temple area and just make circles. Go both directions. And you might get all up in their hair and all along their head, really massaging the scalp. Another place that doesn't get touched very often is our head. And so when you apply this kind of intentional touch to people, to those you love, the benefits are, there's a lot of benefits, let's just say that. And then moving down towards the feet. So again, and most of us, this goes for adults too. My husband also loves this. My friends love it. But we spend so much time on our feet, and especially, kids that are playing all these sports and are super active and they're sitting a lot in school and all that stuff. This feels really good to pick up their ankles and to decompress their low spine by pulling the feet towards you. So I'm pulling her feet or her legs out towards me. I have them both at one time, but I could set one foot down and use both hands. I could get more leverage that way and pull with both hands towards me. And again, you could communicate, is that too much? Is that okay, Lil? You might notice if you're squeezing their heel or their ankle a lot, you could maybe loosen your grip. Sometimes I do that. I'm like, oh, I forget that I'm like really squeezing hard. Well, just be mindful, but also, you know, again, give your person permission. Tell me if I'm doing it wrong. And move on to the other foot. And the more that you practice this, the more comfortable you'll get. And the more they'll be comfortable giving you, you know, directives and even asking you, you know, hey, could you do that thing for me? That felt so good. Or you might notice if they're complaining about their low back aching, or they're complaining about their legs hurting, you know, that you could pull their legs out for them this way, and it might give them a little bit of release. I've done both legs one at a time. I'm going to do them together again. I might find a little rock side to side. And then I like to do a sweep down the legs to the feet. And then once I did the feet, I noticed that her shoulders are again up by her ears because I pulled her low body long. Now this has a little bit of, like I notice a little bit of tension up here, so I'll just draw her shoulders down one more time and just make sure they're relaxed down. Always slowly releasing whatever you have a hold of. I hope these are helpful to you and yours. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Want more? Become a member today. For $25 a month, you'll receive exclusive content and access to our online library full of classes to take anytime, anywhere.